There's been a lot of discussion around the map pool for the Cold War season of CDL. We've already seen some shifts with certain maps like Crossroads making their exit for maps to come in like Apocalypse and others, but people not necessarily happy. Enable Pacman, maybe we can never make anyone happy with the total map selection depending on the game, but Enable, how are you feeling so far? So Apocalypse comes in, it kind of still seems to be a blowout Hardpoint map. You also have Express coming in for S&D over Checkmate. How do you feel about those shifts? Is there anything else you'd like to see happen?
I'll tell you what, I like watching Express for S&D. You know, it's a classic map in the Call of Duty series. Apocalypse, from hearing the pros talk and just watching, it's a very good map. I think they need to make a couple tweaks, maybe with the hills, or just
with P2, I believe it is, right?
Yeah, because that's why a lot of teams aren't playing that map right now, because it is so one-sided depending on where you spawn. I kind of like the idea of reskinning old maps, old classic maps, you know, the best competitive maps from past COD titles. I think that's actually good for the scene. You know, because it gives people, you know, familiarity.
That's
a tongue twister. Oh, dude, fuck it.
They're used to it.
Yeah. Oh, put that on Twitter. But bringing back these classic competitive maps, people are used to it. And that's some balance, because Call of Duty does switch from year to year. So I kind of like that trend. Obviously, you want to bring new maps in. I do think they need a much bigger map pool. Some of the like Checkmate S&D and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't really feel like it's a good map to watch, at least as a spectator. I don't know how John feels though.
And Checkmate S&D is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I wasn't going to go that far.
You can only plant that one bomb and then you die when you plant it. Like this.
You can only plant that one bomb and you only have one way to get to that bomb. It's the same thing over. I've never seen a map that's more rinse and repeat this far into a game. Usually they're like, all right, now we can go here, and if we throw this here, we could jump up. No, you go through the plane, you slide in, and you try to win the fight.
Minimal strategy. There's minimal strategy.
Garrison wasn't much better. I mean, yeah, and I think I confused it. Garrison wasn't much better, though. That's what ended up being removed, and that was the same thing. You went to the bomb, you planted, the barrel blew up, you died. Checkmate's the same thing. Both of those maps, there was a bomb site you just couldn't go to because there's no smokes, which would give you at least some counterplay.
I feel like Express and Miami play the best, and Miami was the one that people didn't like at the start because in general in COD, big maps equals bad. But at least on that map, it gives you options. And if you have options, you can make play. The strategies, the Miami games seem to be more fun to watch, at least for me. I like that. In my opinion, Call of Duty should always release all of these classic maps. Everyone should be expecting it on every title. That standoff, raid, slums, whatever it may be, Terminal, all these maps should be on every game. I feel like that takes minimal work, and it might not work for some games. Some games have different movements. Some games have, sliding, mantling, whatever it may be that changes the map. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's very minimal work. You reskin it.
The fact that you have the opportunity,
but you have the option to try them and play them in. Like I believe Slums was in Black Ops 4. It was terrible. But that was a great map in Black Ops 2. It's just the way the game played. It was different. But at least they had the option to go check that out. And I think that they should do that always. It gives recognition. Like what's Halo? You get on it, you hop on, you see midship. Everyone knows what they're looking at. It doesn't matter. It can go on every single one. Counter-Strike, they've been playing Dust 2 for 74 years. People love the map. It's still there. Give Call of Duty fans that option. So even if there's maps where you're blowing doors open on Modern Warfare, at least it just gives us a chance to throw that in there, and we'll see if we like it. And that's what we need to do with this game and every game that comes out afterwards, no matter what.
Do you think that there is a mode that needs more maps more than other modes? So
honestly,
do you think there's a mode that needs a deeper map pool?
Yes, Hardpoint. Now, Search and Destroy should be much easier if you put the bomb sites in the right spot. This is the weirdest game with that, where there's usually only one bomb site you can go to.
Yeah.
But Search and Destroy, because you decide what you're doing on every round, the game doesn't dictate where you go. It's usually easier to make a good Search and Destroy map. Hardpoint, the game is telling you where you have to go, so the spawns have to work around that correctly, and that can be extremely hard to create, I imagine. I've never created it myself, but I assume that's extremely difficult. So at least giving the players a lot of options to go find those maps, to go find the ones where the spawns work the best, at least initially before they tweak it. I think that's good for the players and then the fans as well, because they get to see better Call of Duty.
it has to be Hardpoint. Like you said, with S&D, realistically, this game's a little different, but you can make a good S&D map depending on the bomb sites for the most part, or like it's at least viable. You know, it's not completely one-sided. But with Hardpoint, you need a lot more maps just because it could be something as simple as the rotation of the hills or what spawn is better. There's a bunch of different factors, but if you have more maps that are in the rotation or that could possibly be in the rotation, you can pick and choose. Right now, it's just kind of like they're dealing with the best that they have, but they have no option. You know, it's Apocalypse or Crossroads. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even though Apocalypse isn't the greatest with how the hills are and the spawns necessarily, you don't have another option. So that's definitely the mode that needs the most maps. But realistically, I would love to see you be able to play every single mode on whatever maps that are in the rotation. You know, not just like, oh, you're only playing Express S&D. You know, I know you can't play Express Hardpoint, but I wish that was possible.
You don't want to play Checkmate, Checkmate, Checkmate? That's not exciting to you when you see matches and you get the map layout. It's just all Checkmate.
I mean, I like Checkmate Hardpoint. You know what I'm saying? Controlling S&D though. The thing is Raid, for example. That's why Raid's a great map. You can play every single game mode on Raid, and at least in my opinion, as a fan and a spectator, it's entertaining to watch. I don't know if the players feel a little bit different playing it, but that's what you need. If you can have a map that you can viably play all three modes, it's got to be a solid map. They need more of that. That's what they need.
Well, we'll have to see. I think we have agreed, though. Bring in some of the old maps. We like them for a reason. Rehash them for the new games if they fit, and give us some variety. Because Lord knows the last thing we want to do is see Checkmate 3 times in a row in a series. So
Round
deep in
11.
those map pools, help out the hard points from Ian, and we'll see. Who knows? Maybe some additions down the line. But as of right now, I think kind of the consensus. We can all agree. Bring in some more maps.